Johnson today. We're happy to have you here. Is going to talk about the Belize Mission Project. He has been with this group for the past 12 years. It's a long time commitment, and he's going to talk about this exciting project with us. Thanks so much.
Thank you. Mainly, I'm going to show you a video. Every year we do a video of the trips that we go on, but I wanted to give you a little bit of background as to what the project is all about. The project was started 25 years ago by an orthodontist who used to love to go fishing in Belize and recognized that there was a shortage of dental care, and working with a dentist who lived down there began a program called the Belize Mission Project. Going down every year, first of all, went for about 10 days every year, and now it's about 20 days every year where they go down. And it has grown to the point where sometimes they will have like 50 people who go down. Most of them are dentists, and they usually like to have one or two physicians or nurse practitioners or someone who has some medical experience, both to help take care of the group that's there and then also to do clinics. My wife and I got involved with this because of a dentist friend that we have in Boulder, and so for the last 12 years we've been going down. I missed 1 year when I stayed here because of the H1N1 scare, but other than that we've gone down every year, and we were able to take our kids with us, so both of my children and both of my daughter-in-law and my son-in-law have also been able to go down with us. So I'm going to show you a little bit about the country first and what we do, and then I'll show you a video, and then if any of you are still here in the room at the end, I'll be happy to answer any questions. But let me just talk a little bit about where Belize is. So Belize is a Central American country. As you can see, here is Mexico, and this is the Yucatan Peninsula. For those of you who have been to Cozumel or to Cancun, they're right there, and then below that is this country called Belize. It's right next to Guatemala and Honduras. And for those of you who were born before 1981, it used to be called British Honduras. So that became a free country in 1981. There's a couple really nice things about this for a quick mission trip. One of those is it's in the same time zone as Colorado for most of the year. It's about a 2.5-hour flight from Houston, which is nice, and their national language is English. So it really makes it simple to go down there, although the places we go, most of them speak Spanish or Creole, which they say is English, but you can't understand them. So what we usually do is we fly into Belize City, which is the capital, although the international airport is outside of that, and then we fly over to San Pedro. So all of us basically stay in San Pedro, at least that's where we're housed for the 10 days that we are there. And then during the week, we go all over the country. So teams will be sent up to the Corozal area, some to Orange Walk, sometimes out here by San Ignacio. There's an old British plantation here called Banana Bank that we go there, and there is a town here that is a Guatemalan refugee camp that needs medical care, so we go there. At times we'll send teams down to Placentia or all the way down to Punta Gorda. So basically what happens is we fly here, we go here, and then we go out all over the country. We come back on Wednesday for a special dinner that we have together and tell everybody what's going on. We then go back out into the country and then come back to San Pedro for Friday, or the last day. San Pedro is famous because it is a scuba diving haven. And so people, when you tell them you're going on a mission trip to San Pedro, Belize, they give you this look like, yeah, we understand, we're going scuba diving. The beauty of this is the doctor, the orthodontist who started this, realized that you do need to at least have 1 day off during the week. So we usually get to get some scuba diving or something in, or we will go to one of the ruins, which they have several places around the country where they have some beautiful Mayan ruins that you can spend time going to on your day off if you would like. So that's a little bit about the country and where it is. Let me just show you, this is the team that we had there in 2014. I am over here, my wife is over here. I don't think we were mad at each other, but we were not near each other in the picture. But this sort of gives you a picture, and then this last of the year we went down, we had 52 in our group, so it was even larger. Well, I'll go on from there. This is a typical site. We usually end up in a church. It is a mission project, but it is non-denominational, and it is basically focused on Christianity, although we have several times had dental teams who are Jewish, or sometimes not even any religion at all, who come because they've heard about it and want to do something to help people, but it's based on sort of a Christian principle. So we usually meet in churches or in community centers, and we basically set up wherever we can. So here you see dental teams along the side over here, and people waiting over here as well as outside, and then the medical team was down here. This is my son, my daughter-in-law, my daughter, my wife, so we're back there doing doing medical things. Here's one of the dentists doing things. A lot of what they do is extracting teeth, although they do try to save teeth as much as possible. And for the last about 10 or 15 years, they have actually taken lab techs down with them, and they will make dentures, they will make teeth, they will make all sorts of things to try to restore individuals' teeth. And you'll see in the video some of the restorations that they did this year. We begin by asking them what kinds of issues they have, trying to figure out what they're there for. Quite often they are there just because it's the only medical team that has been in the area for a long time. They pretty much just want to have a physical exam. Also, we always give out vitamins and ibuprofen and things like that, which are very expensive for them, so they come to see if there's anything that we also have antibiotics and a limited amount of other medicines that we take down with us, and always fight with customs every time we go through the airport, bringing in these suitcases of medications, trying to tell them what we're doing, and they are very suspicious. But anyway, here's my daughter getting a medical record first, and my wife taking a blood pressure. The last couple of years, we've also done finger sticks for blood sugars. Many of them are diabetic or pre-diabetic, and always want to know what their blood sugar is, and try to do that as well. Then I will usually examine them, try to find out what's going on, and then we will diagnose them, and like I said, give them medication for strep throat or ear infections or whatever they may have. Most of the people that we see are adults, and most of them have a lot of stomach pains, a lot of musculoskeletal pains, and that's about all we can do for them. For those who do have high blood pressure or who do have high blood sugar or some of those chronic diseases, it's impossible for us to take down medications to give them for the whole year. So we always refer them to the medical center that is in the neighborhood or close to them to have them get follow-up. Almost every year we have had 1 or 2 patients that we have found with a really significant infection. We've had to send them by ambulance to get an appendectomy or to get antibiotics, IV antibiotics. So we still feel like maybe we're doing something, although it's interesting, over the 12 years, their medical system has improved to a degree that to a large degree they're able to get much of what we're able to give them. It's just that it costs more, and so we do give them that benefit. Occasionally we'll find things like cuts that need to be stitched up or cleaned or whatever. This is my daughter working on that. She is now just finished her first year in nurse practitioner school, and is looking forward to continuing and doing some of this kind of stuff as she moves forward. So let me show you the video, and hopefully this is going to work. If not, I'm going to blame Bernadette. But and then, like I said, this is about 19 minutes. This is flying into San Pedro.
This pain, I wonder if I'll ever find my way. I wonder wonder
Splash
if my
landing.
life could really change at all. All
As a mission, we have devotions every morning before we go out
could
to
all that
events.
is lost ever be found? Could a garden come up from this ground at all?
This is one of the resorts in San Pedro.
You make beautiful things. You make beautiful
This is the clinic that they have in San Pedro.
You make beautiful things. You make beautiful things out of us.
This is the anti-septic
All
way we take care of things.
around, hope is springing up from this old ground. Out of chaos, life is
I
beautiful.
believe there's still less than 20 dentists in the country, so getting dental care is really, really difficult.
You make beautiful
This is a
things.
dental hygienist from
You
Boulder.
make beautiful things out of the depths. You make beautiful things. You make beautiful things
Lost the hours to
out
the
of
Boulder.
us. Oh, you make beautiful things. You make beautiful things out of the depths. You make beautiful things. You make beautiful things out of
Before and after. This is an oral surgeon from Boulder.
You make beautiful things. You make beautiful things out of the dark. You make beautiful things. You make beautiful things out of the rocks. Oh, you make beautiful things. You make beautiful things out of the
One thing about the population there is it goes all the way from Mayan to Spanish to Creole to other Caribbean. It's a very wide, diverse population
How big is the population?
there. I believe it's around 3.5 million. No, it's not. No, it's less than a million.
Less than a million.
It's less than a million. It's like 200,000. Up in Corazon, the local sugarcane growers
For all the
sponsor
strides we made,
but they also had television there, and television came and interviewed several of the
we've
dentists.
fallen far away from truth. Turning our face away from this hurting race. turned our face away from you. We wanna be your hands, your feet. Without words, we'll let our actions speak. For every broken heart, for every widow, for those without shelter from the rain, we lift our eyes to you, looking for answers, when we have been called to ease the pain. We wanna be your hands, your feet.
At the plantation where we stay, they have a happy
Without
jaguar
words,
with
we'll
Hispanics
let
and cowboys.
our actions
And the
speak.
country didn't know what to do with it, so gave it to M&S to take care
So
of it.
here we are. Words can only go so far. Draw us closer to
This is letting people know that it's nice to be there. We go out into the neighborhoods and let them know that the dental
bring
clinics
us
in town,
back to
medical
you.
clinics in town.
Bring us back to you. Here we are. Words can only go so far. Draw us closer to your heart.
One year, an audiologist came with us and found that there was a staff that needed help, so she's been going down every year this year.
Bring us back to you.
Over $100,000 worth of hearing.
Bring us back to you. Bring us back to you.
She's also from Boulder.
We wanna be your hands, your feet. Without words, we'll let our actions speak. We wanna be your hands, your feet. Let us show love to this world, and let our actions speak. So here we
There's a large Mennonite population down there also, which is interesting to work with, and
words can
they pretty much are the
only
ones
go
who feed the whole country.
so far. Draw us closer to your heart and bring us back to you. Bring us back to you. Bring us back to you. Bring us back to you.
Dentists can actually do a whole lot more in a week than physicians or nurses can. I mean, they really can make a lot of difference in the lives of people. That most of what we're seeing now are chronic diseases, and like I said, there's not much you can do about that. But a dentist or a surgeon, if they have the whole team, can really do a lot with it.
You gave your life, you laid it down, traded our sorrow for your crown, for forsaking.
We also have a team that goes out to the schools and does fluoride treatments on all the kids in the schools.
To
While we were
resurrection.
down there this year, they saw over 4,000 kids.
So we will follow where you
The government has noticed the difference since this team started going down, that the dental caries and all the dental problems have been decreasing in the
Hosanna, Jesus, we will sing Hosanna, everlasting King, Hosanna, we give you the highest praise. You bore our shame, carried the cross. You came to seek and save the lost.
We've got beautiful kids.
Defeated death
Some of them are brats.
and resurrected to give us freedom in your name. So we will follow where you lead us. We will answer when you call. Hosanna, Jesus, we will sing Hosanna, everlasting King, Hosanna, we give you the highest praise. Hosanna,
This is a local dentist that works with us. Actually, the team got together and raised money for a scholarship and sent him down to get extra training in Costa Rica. So now he's one of the best trained local dentists in the whole country.
Light of the world, heaven's sun, let us see your kingdom come. Till you return to claim your own, Jesus, make our hearts your throne. We will follow where you lead.
Tropic Air, the airline that we fly around on, they have small planes, but
We
they,
will answer when you
over the years, have gotten to the point where they trust this group and they give us half price on all our flights because we use them so much. It's the only way we can afford to do the travel that we do.
Jesus, we will sing Hosanna, everlasting King, Hosanna, we give you the highest praise. Hosanna, heaven, earth, and Lord, Hosanna, let your will be done, Hosanna, Jesus, you alone can save.
A special dancing group up in Corozal that the sugar cane workers brought in and showed a little bit of the local flavor for the ones who were staying before. This is their team. Somewhere in here that talks a little bit about the medical team. vocational schools, and they all have their
And I
uniforms.
know my boat is sinking, but my feet
I think it
won't
actually
touch
is a good
the
idea that we
sand.
should do it here in this country. Nobody listens to me.
When the mountain that's in front of me is too high for me to climb, and I cannot say for certain
Teach them how
that
to brush their
victory
teeth.
is mine. Be near me, Jesus, be near. Be near me, Jesus, be near. It's the prayer of my life. Won't you answer when you hear? Be near me, Jesus, be near.
Team also took a bunch of toys. They had soccer balls and jump ropes. That's why I started jumping rope.
When the light that I've been looking for
This is a family
seems to
practitioner from
flicker
St.
in
Louis
the
area.
night,
This is a public health doctor from Colorado.
and I'm waiting for the answer, but I just can't
The
get
guy
it
that owns the
right.
ranch, he actually is from Montana. Moved down and bought a plantation about 30 years
Be
ago.
near me, Jesus, be near. Be near me, Jesus, be near.
My wife, we have all of our medicines laid out.
Prayer
I'll
of
go
my
tell her what we need and she'll get
Won't
things
you
ready.
answer when you hear? Be near.
And on Friday, we all put our money together and put together bags of food that we take out to the very poorest neighborhoods in the San Pedro area. This is the lady who helps us. She buys all the food and helps bag it. Tough place to be a missionary. Beautiful, beautiful place. The contrast though between that and some of the neighborhoods is just
When the chaos that surrounds me makes it hard to hear your voice, and I'm listening for the stillness, but all I hear is noise.
I think that's probably enough for sort of at the end of
Be
the
near
year.
me, Jesus, be near. Be near me, Jesus, be near. It's the prayer of my life. Won't you answer when you hear? Be near, Jesus.
Okay. So that's sort of a quick view of what we do. I don't know if you have any questions, time's up, but it's kind of a mix of tourism and trying to do something good for people, and it's been interesting. Yeah,
I do
really.
have a question. Do you, since you've been back year after year, do you see the same people come to the clinic?
We do. We get to the point where quite often we'll go to new clinics, but sometimes they send us back, particularly to the one that was the Guatemala refugee camp. We go back there, and now we've seen people there 4 or 5 years in a row. They know us and we know them. It's interesting.
Have you had any trouble being accepted by the government or maybe some neighboring or regional governments there? or anything?
We don't have any trouble with regional governments or neighboring governments, but every year we have to fight with the Belizean government, like I said, about getting our medications in. And there's certain limits as to what they want us to bring in, and they are very concerned about antibiotic abuse and those kinds of things. Some of the local dentists have now begun to be jealous about losing patients because people wait for the group to come. And so it's every year we have to work with the Ministry of Health and with the local dentists and things. And that's why when we see problems that we can't take care of or that we're going to need chronic treatment, we refer them to the locals. One of the problems that some of the dentists have had is they will pull teeth and then we leave and then they have bleeding and other problems later, and these dentists, local dentists, have to clean up, and they've been sort of angry about that. So we have tried to make sure that the dentists who are going know what they're doing. I mean, we have to send in our medical licenses and dental licenses and all of that to both the project and to the government. But to try to make sure that if there is a difficult case, they don't do it, so that they don't end up leaving something for somebody to watch out, to clean up on.
Do they, or do you think they'll have a problem with Zika virus?
They will and they do. The local dentist that actually helped get this whole thing started, he and his wife both had Zika virus this year. And it's interesting, each year, this year there were hardly any mosquitoes. Last year we were inundated with mosquitoes. So it all depends on the weather and the rain and what's going on. But it's like here, just like here. But it's going to be a problem. It really has been. So.
You said that they had no fewer cases? Is that?
They have noticed the areas where we go that there's much better dental health. They're losing less teeth, they're having less caries, and the government has noticed this and has given credit to the Belize Mission Project. A lot of it, I think, has to do with the fluoride treatments that they're giving, the early preventive care that they're giving. So that's good.
So I noticed you had talked about the local man who went through dental school,
Yes.
I believe, in Costa Rica.
Uh-huh.
So what are the opportunities for the people to, the children to grow up and get into professional schools and become providers themselves?
It's more difficult than here, but it is possible. He went to dental school in Costa Rica. His brother took engineering in Cuba. And so there's a lot of this sort of moving around, mainly in Central America, not so much to the United States. But he expanded his ability by going back to get special training. He wants to go back and get prosthodontics or something else, but that would just be too expensive. So, but for the most part, I'm sure it depends on where you are born and to whom you are born. There's still a lot of that in the country, but at least the upper class does seem to be able to get good training. And they're building more universities. They do have the University of Belize, and they are building more of those, but it's difficult, but probably better than a lot of quotes, third world countries or developing countries.
Are there scholarships, funds available?
Not that I know of.
No.
It was interesting, the one who went to Cuba said that actually when he went to Cuba, he would take suitcases full of food with him because he would help feed some of the kids that he went to school with, because Cuba didn't have much food at the time. And so he said he froze there and he also got really hungry. So, anyway, don't want to hold you longer than you have to
Great
be.
project.
Thank you.